Right.
I remember
ComX presents.
Alex, not yet. Lauren, what are you doing?
Making everything look sexy and chilling.
By the way, I don't want to eat anyone's thumbnails.
Thanks, Nick May, for that's super helpful. Can we just get the show going?
ComX net, is it ComX net AU or?
Are you ready for drinking? Drawing? What about laughing? Well, hold on to your crumpets. It's season 2 of the ComX Friday Night Drink and Draw, with your hosts Sizzle and Spedsy, and the man they call Quick, plus Australia's most attractive artists and creators, many of whom have books for sale at comx.shop. Alright Dave, you can start drawing.
Yeah, if you can make sense of it, good luck. Welcome to ComX Friday Night Drink and Draw. Tonight our theme is She-Hulk, and our special spotlight guest is Brad Daniels.
Whoa. Hi.
That is correct. It is. Welcome to the show, everybody. Of course, thank you to Sizzle for having us and comx.shop. I am Rob, aka Spedsy. Next to me is Nick. Hello, sir.
Hey. I thought I'd do a fresh intro. For those of you who don't know, everyone's going to talk around me, and I'm going to try and draw quick pictures of whatever's happening, and ideally they're funny and a little bit offensive.
That's a new thing you're trying out?
Yeah.
No.
And for those asking the question at home, Willie, I think he already has. That didn't work. No, wait. He definitely would. That's where I was going with that. It's Chris Wood.
Hey, everybody. Happy to be back. It's been a little bit.
Good to have you, man. Next to him is the first of 7 Brads on the show. It's Brad Pickersgill. Hello, sir.
I'm well. Hello, everybody.
And the man, the myth, the mermaid. It's Chris Pitcan.
Hello.
Peter Lawson, son-in-law. Hello, sir.
Hello. My camera's actually there. I'll fix that. There we go.
And how do you know if your turkey's ready? Just have a look and see if it's browning. It's Shannon Browning.
Oh. Howdy, y'all.
And our 75th Brad, he of 2 first names, Brad Daniels. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Dave Dye couldn't be with us, the man of amazing tales. So we got the second best, the man with the tales that are too stupid to tell.
That's a great title.
Yeah. But before then, we need to talk about someone who'd be twerking up a storm, and her name is She-Hulk. Now, Sis, starting with you, my friend, what's your first recollection, your first experience, your thoughts, your feelings, She-Hulk?
Well, I'm not too sure if it was the cartoon. I don't know which cartoon, but I remember it being in a cartoon. Or there was a comic cover that threatened to rip up all my X-Men if I didn't buy it. That's my main memory of her, because I never read her comic. But I do remember that she was going to rip up all my X-Men comics if I didn't buy her comic. And I bluffed her, and I didn't buy her comic.
And where are your X-Men comics now, Sis? Do you have them anymore?
Gone. They're gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I stuffed that one up.
Yeah.
She's still one.
Always listen to She-Hulk. My first sort of She-Hulk thing is as a member of the Fantastic Four when she took over for the Thing, and I thought she was a great way to jazz up the team, spice up the team a little bit. A team that I perhaps wasn't into as much at the time, and then when she joined, I guess made me a little bit curious, and I loved sort of her banter with Johnny Storm and all that sort of stuff. But quick, no one wants to hear from me. They hear from me enough. You tell me, sir, about your shulky experiences.
Well, mine's similar to yours in that I know She-Hulk through the FF as well. But when I think of the She-Hulk, she's always flirting with the Thing. And that's like something I've always appreciated, that there's some sort of romance between these characters that are sort of trapped in their superhero forms. And I'm all for it. And I'm sort of excited that, as the MCU evolves, there's a chance they might, cross paths. Whether the scenes with them talking, I don't know. But I feel like it's going to pay off in some respect, even if they just share a few lines for the fans like me. I'm excited. I'm also
Technically, Thing made his first appearance in the most recent episode of She-Hulk.
What's that?
The Thing has actually made his first.
No.
Well, close to his first MCU. It's in the latest episode of She-Hulk.
Really?
No way.
Tell us.
Tell us more.
What are you talking about?
If you've been watching the show, the show ends with a bunch of court-style drawings, everybody watches those.
Yeah, I love them. They're great.
Yeah. In the most recent one, there was a character who revealed that he is a big sneak collector. And one of the final drawings was him up a brand new pair of Iron Man themed sneakers. And in the background were a whole bunch of other superhero style sneakers. And one of the sneakers was actually based on the Thing, the rocky texture and the blue stripe for the Thing. So the Thing has made his first appearance ever in the tail end of episode of She-Hulk.
There we go.
Yeah, wow. Was Shannon stuttering for other people, or is my internet crap?
I heard it too.
No, I heard it too. There's something wrong.
No, just making sure. It was all good. You were just talking, a little bit like you were in a big stadium. Quick,
which you are, of course. You are in a big stadium.
If you had to some Brad on Brad action, we'll see how the night pans out. But quick. You find yourself in the Marvel universe. What dude in the Marvel universe would you foresee having a bit of a flirty back and forth type banter with?
Who do I?
Yeah, you yourself.
Who would I hit it off with?
Yeah.
One for you, Chris Wood.
Jeez. Oh, mate. Who do I want to, or who would I?
Well, give me both, but who do you think?
I mean, I think me and the Thing would get along.
Is this a Dave Dye thing where that's like the last person on your mind, so you can't think of anyone?
Who would I like to? I think. Oh man, you put me on the spot with a good one.
I mean, the whole show's that. Yeah. Because you ask questions, you answer them.
I want questions before the show, like that we can rehearse. That's what I'm interested in.
All right. Well, a man who I don't know. I'm going to stuff up the joke again. Something about he would know how to answer it. Yeah, his whole life.
I like the new. Did you say MCU? Because I'll take the new Hawkeye. She was cool. She was.
Well, I said a dude, mate. So don't.
Oh, I gave you a dude.
Something we don't know.
All right, Chris, give me something. A little anecdote about the She-Hulk. What's your first sort of memory, or what do you like about it? Dislike?
Well, I thought that She-Hulk is the most comic booky character ever. Like, they literally just put she in front of the Hulk. And her origin story is hilarious. Like, there was just a blood transfusion, which I think is absolutely hilarious. But I don't think I ever really read any She-Hulk comics, although I do want to read John Byrne's stuff that Sizzle mentioned. That kind of did the whole Deadpool thing before Deadpool. So, yeah, I would love to read more of it. But, yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Pickersgill?
Yeah, definitely the cartoon. I do have a memory as a kid watching an episode of the Hulk or whatever, and they were both stuck inside some, torture chamber, and they both had to transform at the same time, and then, hilarity ensued because they were both like, raw, just going nuts and, all that kind of stuff. And I was just saying to my mate the other day, definitely that cover iconic cover of the second series where she's like, "This is now your second chance, and I'm going to come around and rip up your X-Men." It's just classic John Byrne. It's just like really iconic, and I didn't actually buy it despite her warnings, but it was right there on the shelf, and it made you want to buy it. It was just such the colors were really vibrant. It was a really fresh look, and that's probably my two probably biggest memories, I guess, from of She-Hulk from early on.
Yeah. Sizz, pop quiz, hot shot. The red She-Hulk. What do you know of her? Do you know who her Jennifer Walters is, if you will? Her not so secret identity, whatever you call it, her human self.
Is this me?
Yeah.
No idea.
It's funny. I asked the question.
I know
now
it's pretty recent. So that's why I've missed it.
It's oh man, I can't believe I asked the question and I've forgotten the answer. Brad, go. Yes, who is it?
It's Betty Brant.
Yes. I was going to say it's Liv Tyler. I couldn't remember.
Hang on. Betty Brant or Betty Banner? Come on.
They got married.
No, wait. Now I'm going to sound like an idiot. But who's the lady who works at the Daily Bugle?
Yeah, it's Betty Brant.
That's Betty Brant.
Okay.
So it's not Betty Brant.
But where does Liv Tyler come into it?
Yeah, so it's it's
Thunder. No, lift your game, guys.
Ross's daughter. Why can't I think of her name?
Yeah.
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross.
Betty Banner.
Was it Jennifer Connelly?
Betty Ross. We got there.
Jennifer Connelly. Actually got married, did they?
They did. You guys need to lift your game. Seriously, come on.
I know.
This is what we've been told.
Thanks, Tony. Yes. Fortunately, we kind of sell ourselves as an Aussie indie comic book show who then try to haphazardly talk about American comics that they barely know. Speaking of people I barely know, that doesn't make any sense. But Chris, tell us a little something about She-Hulk. Are you a fan?
Oh gosh. I mean, not a huge fan. I never really read much of her stuff specifically, but she popped up in a couple of the Avengers comics. I actually just desperately tried to find the one that she popped up in that I have on my shelf. Couldn't find it, but now my floor is covered in comic books, so it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. But yeah, I do like her outfits. She looks good in a suit. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
So when you say with the Avengers, so are we talking more recently when she was dating Thor?
I think it's it was one of the early 2000s runs. Because I remember I can't remember the character's name, but it was like there was a group called the Triskelion who had I think they were called the Triskelion, who put a Tri-Guy superhero into the Avengers who was like triple strength, triple speed, triple agility, all that kind of stuff. And it was notable because he was one of the sort of newer black superheroes.
Okay.
And from memory, She-Hulk really warmed to him, like she was on the team at the same time and got a bit flirty with him. But that's about all I can remember. It's on the floor somewhere.
How mounted is your webcam? Can we see the floor?
It's pretty mounted. I don't want to try and move it because it will tip everything over.
Some of us perfectly designed this rectangle to look neat, and the rest is disgusting. So I dare not push you to move your webcam.
Yeah, whereas I'm just like, even though I tried to do that, it still looks disgusting. There's no help. I'm just a bit of a tornado. It's fine. Don't question me. It's fine.
Just quietly, that's the name of your autobiography. I'm just a bit of a tornado. That's a pretty badass line, actually. I'm just a bit of a tornado. Can I use that if you're not going to? Because that's awesome.
Yeah, go for it. My housemate just stares at me.
Shannon, I cut you off, mate. You were going to say something?
I think what Chris was talking about, that was during the Kurt Busiek, George Perez run, when I think it was called Triathlon was the name of the character.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
Well
and he was
done.
part of some religious sect as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first Avengers ones I actually read, and I don't admit I don't actually remember She-Hulk being in it, but yeah, I do remember that character.
All right, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm misremembering.
It might have come later on because I remember I had to stop buying about everything around that time because I was broke again. So I might have missed like the bits where She-Hulk showed up.
I was only 12, so it's entirely possible I'm remembering wrong. I haven't read them in years.
A man who doesn't look a day over 12, Peter Lawson.
Gee, thanks.
What do you? Did I say 12? I meant 112. Oh, gee, no.
Oh, wow. Funny you say that because you are also damn young. My first recollection of the She-Hulk was issue 1.
Oh,
which I thought.
So sick.
Yep.
Go dig it out. We'll wait.
Oh, that would take forever. It's among my 20 boxes outside, so I will never find it. I actually thought of looking for it today, but yeah, I remember that one coming out, and I probably got the first 3 or 4 years complete.
Wow.
And then I had stopped buying comics because, like so many people, I didn't have a job and couldn't afford them. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my first recollection was issue 1. I've got a couple of the Fantastic Four issues, and quite a few of her in the Avengers. As for sort of the later John Byrne stuff, no, I haven't got any of those, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
What state is your comic collection in, Pete? Like you said, did you say it's near your veggie boxes?
Yeah. It's a line in the veggie. No, they're all boxed up and sealed up in some wardrobes out in my garage. So.
Oh, okay. And how many boxes are we talking?
About 10,
long
boxes out there. Yeah, longish.
And what other sort of titles would make up your collection?
Oh, anything sort of 70s to early 80s Marvel, pretty much anything that hit the shelves back then.
Cool.
Especially X-Men, Avengers. I actually really loved the West Coast Avengers when that came out. That was great. Not a lot of DC stuff because it just wasn't available where I was living. Otherwise, I would have added that to it. But yeah, most of it is sort of mid to late 70s and early 80s stuff.
Okay.
A lot of very sought after, like X-Men and that sort of stuff, sitting there. Like the complete Dark Phoenix of Yeshua, that's there, which is nice. That's actually what got me into the X-Men, and then I started buying issues further back.
Yeah. Cool. What at a guess, what would be your most prized, perhaps most valuable comic in your collection?
I cannot remember the number. It is the only issue of the Avengers I've got with the original logo before they changed it up, like the first writing they had. And I'm trying to remember. It's in the middle of a storyline that I don't have any of the rest of. So it's hard to remember. I think Jim Starlin was the artist on it. I think that would be the oldest thing I've got out there, and hence when I picked up for 20 cents in an op shop, which was really cool. And then I went to Minotaur Books in Melbourne with it in my bag and saw the same one in there for $45. So I thought, yeah, beauty, I did well.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And that'd be it.
Yeah. Shannon, you were mentioning you mentioned about having to give up collecting at one point, which I think is something that a lot of us have had to do. You sort of go on and off. Can you give us your little when you started, when you stopped, when you picked it back up again, when you stopped again, however it went? Have you got a little timeline?
I started. It was way back. Batman '89 had just come out, and I remember going into a news agency after that and finding a Batman comic, and being completely shocked that they were still actually making Batman comics. I thought they'd stopped publishing in the '60s or something like that.
Yeah, right.
So that sort of started my collecting, and I was only doing it like picking up the occasional issue here and there. That was about the same time I discovered that there are actual comic stores in Sydney. But around that time, the Death of Superman started as well, and that really got me into collecting, and I got pretty hardcore for all of that. And it was sort of on again, off again. I went to the States in '99, so I'd stopped collecting around that time. But I'd been collecting pretty hardcore by then. And then it just got to a point I was unemployed, I was running out of money. The price of comics kept on going up, so he was like $60, $70, $80 that was disappearing every single week, and no money was coming in, so I just had to stop. And pretty much the only real picking it back up again, about the only real stuff that I've picked up, I just buy trades now. So I wait for a storyline to finish and I'll pick that up. This is my only problem with comics, is that, well, back in the day, you always had to treat comics like it was a dirty little secret. Like, you put them in bags, you put them in boxes, you put the boxes in a back room somewhere. You know, it was all hidden away from the world. And I was proud of reading comics. I was proud of my fandom and stuff like that. So by buying the trades, I could put them on my bookshelf in the front room and actually have them out there, and people would see what I was into. Personal thing, anyway.
What would be one of your more recent purchases? What sort of things are you reading these days?
I read a lot of stuff digitally, so I still sort of check out a lot of mainstream stuff, but I'm not happy with anything that either DC or Marvel is really doing at the moment. One of my favorite things that really broke my heart when they wrapped it all up was Invincible. And for many years, just, waiting for the next trade, that was just something to always look forward to. And I was very happy with all of that. I'm going back and finding some classic stuff. Like, I recently picked up the entire run of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going through that. As soon as I'm moved and working again, I'm going to pick up all of Neil Gaiman's Sandman. I read about 7 or 8 issues or something like that. If you've just watched the recent series, you know that episode that plays in a cafe?
No, I haven't seen Swamp Thing.
No. Okay. No, I was talking about Sandman.
Sandman. Sandman. Sorry, I've only watched the first episode. Haven't got past that yet. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But it was the issue of the comic that episode was based on, where they were in this cafe. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That was as far as I got. I think that was about 7 issues in, and that was really heavy. That was sort of messing me with me a little bit at the time. That's why I sort of went on to something else. But I still love the superhero stuff. I still, I keep hoping they'll do something great. I'm sick to death of crises in DC. Like the first one was just such a big monumental event, and now there's a new crisis where they completely reboot the universe about every 2 years. It's like, so what? It's like changing the battery in your car, for crying out loud.
I don't know if Identity Crisis counts as one of the crises, but I freaking love Identity Crisis.
That was brilliant. That was really, really well done. Actually, just to talk about She-Hulk just for a second.
Yeah, please.
There was one moment I read the stuff that I think is what the show is based on, which was like Jen as a lawyer as She-Hulk at the same time.
Dan Slott's run.
That was it, yeah. And what he did brilliantly was not so much the main stories. There was just like a lot of one-panel jokes, like stuff going on in the background. And if they could pull this off in the show, it'd make I would be just so happy. But there was this one panel where Howard the Duck was suing George Lucas.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
But yelling at him is just like, you promised me sequels and a franchise and spin-offs, and this is all you gave me, you hack. So if they could get George himself in for that one cameo, I think that'd be brilliant.
Mr. Daniels, why, as the guest for the week, you got to choose the theme, the topic, the character to draw. You chose She-Hulk. Why?
I don't remember choosing it.
Awesome. Did he not choose it, Sis? Did we choose it?
No. We were at the Brisbane markets, and I asked, and he had a She-Hulk comic in his hands.
I see.
Well, I guess, yeah, I chose it because obviously it's my favorite character.
Okay. Because normally the way this show works is we go around the room and everybody knows kind of like tiny bits, some know nothing, and then we get to the expert at the end of the panel who gives it all to us.
Yeah, I know a fair amount about She-Hulk. Like, I think if I did suggest it, I didn't mean to, but I do like the character. I like the character a lot.
Yep.
I've been enjoying the TV show. I have the John Byrne issues here, bound into a hard of my own making.
Okay, wait, pause there. Tell us about homemade omnibus creations.
So it's like a side hustle I have, where I take comic books and I have a binder and I get them bound into books. So these are all the original comics, which are now mint. They are all bound into a hardcover book.
Wow!
Cool. And how many series have you done that with?
I've got about
50.
Yeah.
Pull out another one. Just surprise us. Give us a random.
Okay, a random. The complete Captain Cow Amazing Zoo Crew.
That's random.
Well, yeah.
All right.
I also said pull it out. Don't just like say it.
Oh,
I wanted to see it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, full screen that. Yeah.
I'm not just the host. I'm the boss.
Yes,
Do as I
sir.
say. And fair warning, we've bigged you up so that we can get a good look.
Rightio.
I'll grab a few.
Holy moly! Yeah.
So this is Rick Veitch's Rare Bit Themes.
Okay.
Which is where he just he would keep a dream journal, and then he would do comics of his dreams. And this is Rick Veitch, who rose to fame with Swamp Thing, and a heap of independent stuff. So this is like a really weird, freaky independent comic, and it's just as far out as you'd imagine a comic artist's dreams would be.
So I just want to get technical for a second. Hey, Bethany. So comics, right? They're obviously designed, especially older ones, designed to be read in floppy form. And then when they put them in omnibuses, they might have to shrink a page, move a page across or whatever so that the balloons don't get lost in the binding. How did you get around this? Are there some bits that you almost can't read because they're in some of those thicker books? And
not really. I mean, generally, because they're the original comics, the spines aren't that tight, and it only takes a meter or so for them to bind them. So we got like Secret Six here by Gal Simone.
Wow. That's a more recent one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Brad, is this something you would offer to people as a service if they wanted to? Like, did we just find a side hustle for you to do this for people?
Here's a flyer.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Oh,
this
no
is
way.
something you do. Wow. All right. So where can people like contact you for this stuff?
Go to edgecomics.com or send an email to brad@edgecomics.com.
Okay. Now, yeah, please.
This is my big thick fella.
But what about the omnibus? Innuendo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now, Brad, what's the for the Grail hunters, for the Neville Howards of the world, what is the best comic that you have essentially destroyed by putting in there?
Oh, I don't know. I have Tony Nasso, who I think is watching the show tonight.
Yeah,
he has gotten, like, I don't want to like dob him in, but he's gotten hundreds of these done with me.
Wow.
I can personally attest to that. I'm a good mate of Tony's from school, and every time I go over to his place, he's got a whole room filled with those binders.
Wow.
And he's actually freaked out a few people at conventions where he's presented one of these, and I can't remember who it was. Tony might be able to say or type it in. One of them went, "What is this? I didn't produce this. What the hell is this? This is not official." And he's like, "No, I did this. I bound up all of your shit." Like, and they were like, "Nah." And he's like, "Yeah, I did." So I can attest to the workmanship of of this stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Tony's commenting like he's saying lovely things about me, which is always good. But yeah, Tony, what if you wanted to comment what the most expensive comic you had bound would be? That would be great. But for me, it's probably a copy of. I didn't even remember I had this bound. I found it the other day. It's a copy of X-Men Teen Titans crossover that I got bound.
I love that. It's a great one.
With just a heap of like generic, not generic, but random miscellaneous Teen Titans stuff, and that's one of the books that I threw in there.
So, Brad, what are the ethics when if someone was to say, "All right, Brad, I've sent you my comics. Here they are. You unwrap it. It's Spider-Man. It's Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man 1 through to Spider-Man 50. They're in immaculate condition, but they want it bound." Do you say, whoa? Do you know what you've got?
I'm on a beach in South America 2 weeks time.
Oh, you would steal them. Okay. Didn't anticipate that answer.
Come on. Like, number one would be $1 by itself. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we here at ComX, we highly recommend Brad's services, unless your comics are of what sort of value are we talking? When do you start contemplating stealing them, Brad?
Probably, you're taking your life into your own hands if you send me that stuff.
Okay. Right. Now, hang on. So, did we do the She-Hulk of it all with you? Why She-Hulk? You accidentally? Have you got a little She-Hulk anecdote for us? Something you like about her?
Because even though I didn't realize I was choosing her for this I do have a long history of She-Hulk.
Okay.
So I, like a lot of people, first became aware of her when she joined the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying that month to month at the time, and I was like, "Oh, it's a sexy green girl. I'll go with that." And I was 13. What do you expect? But yeah, then I found, because I was living in a small town in Queensland, in Bundaberg, we had book exchanges where you could get old comics, swap your old comics for new ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
there was a lot of the original run of She-Hulk, which was floating around in the newsagent. So I got an almost complete run of the first series as well. And just, it wasn't particularly, the first series isn't particularly good.
Right.
It's not particularly terrible though, but the character really evolved when John Byrne got hold of her. And to an extent, when she joined the Avengers, I actually managed to find an old Avengers comic, the one where she first joined the group, and she was still running around in the white one-piece dress, you know, that she was famed for to start off with. And then, like, the Wasp was like, honey, we got to fix you up. You cannot go around wearing this. And then suddenly she became really like a fashionista, but an 80s fashionista. So for like years, her outfit was a leotard and leg warmers, and
I remember that.
punching baddies wearing that.
Yeah.
And then John Byrne brought in the fourth wall breaking aspect in his run, which, as I mentioned, I have a complete run of Bound, and he actually got kicked off the title after I think a dozen issues. No, after 8 issues, he got kicked off the title.
Oh.
I think he went to DC to do Superman or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Came back a year or so later after he got kicked off of Superman, and just picked up where he left off, and went for another 20 odd issues. And it was good, lighthearted stuff. It was cheesecakey, like pin-uppy artwork, but also very lighthearted and what you call these days sex positive, where it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't for wowzers, but it wasn't like
trousers.
It wasn't like yeah, and then I've just started reading the Dan Slott run, like this week, and I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
So the history of She-Hulk and my adventures with her over the years.
Now, Brad, one of something that concerned me recently when we saw each other, you had shaved your mutton chops off. It's good to see them back. What was the thinking? You were completely clean shaven. Were you going for a job interview?
It was summer, Rob. It was summer.
Okay. That long ago?
And this is a hot on my face.
Okay. Hang on. These quotes are, this is a hot on my face. Is a hot on my face. I'm just a bit of a tornado. This is a hot on my face. This next comic is writing itself at this rate. Now, what we normally do is we then talk to Brad about his journey, and we will do it. We're just running ahead of schedule a little bit. So I quickly wanted to check in with Chris Wood and Brad Pickersgill, because we haven't had them on for a little while. So, Chris, if you don't mind, what are you up to? What are you working on? How's art life? Tell us.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. That's good. I finished up with Bad Harvey, and I've been working on Coffee Table in my spare time, but also I've got the cartooning gig. I've got the cartooning gig, which is at the moment like weekends, so I have to work weekends for that, which is fine because I'm getting paid for it, so no complaints. Working on a few projects that I can't talk about, but yeah, I've been busy. So,
and Coffee Table, how far in are we now?
I'm doing the colors for issue 1, and I'm not a colorist, so I'm a little bit stressing out. So I almost, the last couple of years learning to draw on that, I've deliberately like not tried to get good at writing or coloring and just like focus on one thing. And now I'm figuring out that, maybe I should have diversified my portfolio a little bit. But yeah, it's interesting just learning about like value and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's come along all right. Hopefully have it done by the end of the year, the whole project. So that's the goal. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Brenton, how's it going, man?
Brenton made it.
Hey guys. Oh yeah, finally made it.
Yeah.
There you go.
First time on the show as well. So we normally
Yes.
start about 40 minutes ago, just to give you a heads up.
Left for dead.
Yeah. Brendan, while we got you, who are you? Tell us a little something about yourself. What do you do? You've been drawing? You're an artist, I assume?
Yeah. Sorry, Brenton McKenna, writer and illustrator of Ubby's Underdogs, which is the
oh yeah, nice.
The Wolf got me. Yeah. Book 1, book 2, book 3. Also doing the Monday to Friday cartoon strip of Old Champ in the West Australian newspaper. Yeah, just getting the next book's coming out March next year. So just staying. It's mom. I'm really paranoid. I've never used my mic before. Hopefully it's coming.
Oh, you sound great. You look great.
Oh,
you're actually coming through so clear. I was then looking at my own pixelation to see if I was comparative.
Cleaning the camera off, but no, that's in a nutshell, man. Ubby's Underdogs, Old Champ, and a new comic series I've started with called Hairy Holes. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we'll be out next year. Yeah.
Now, for those playing at home, you said Hairy Holes. Was that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to check.
I'm sure the translates pretty well. So it's basically all the sort of naughty, silly jokes I couldn't get away with in Ubbies, and we kind of culled out a lot of stuff, a lot of broom humor, a lot of blackfellow humor, a lot of quirky Aussie humor, and we were kind of worried that it wouldn't translate well, but I kind of kept it in a separate thing, and then my editor said, we'll create a whole new series that you can get away with and put all that stuff in that comic. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
That's awesome. Does that, so you're saying, so issue 1 is in the works, is it? Or is there
it's actually was supposed to come out this year. I don't know if you guys my publishing house is really small, but it literally went underwater. Like it literally big monsoon storm and a king tide. We've got some massive king tides here, and it was just that literally a perfect storm and a massive king tide, and the entire publishing house was under like 3 feet of seawater. The whole town was like, so usually the town gets a bit flooded, not too bad, but it's the first time the publishing house. So all their stock, all their computer equipment that's ground level, anything that was on, under a desk, they lost a lot of stock. They lost a lot of books. So they've only just caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Everything's been put back about 6 months.
Yeah. I mean that's a tragedy, but the first thing that my brain thought of was that your hairy holes getting wet, and that's you don't want that.
Oh, I might use that. That's fantastic.
Sorry. So, what about Brenton? Are you familiar with She-Hulk? Are you a She-Hulk fan at all?
The comics I haven't been. We still. Only a handful of people in Bremen, I feel like, have Disney Plus. Like, kind of hearing a lot of the stuff secondhand.
Right.
But yeah, the comic, huge Hulk fan, huge She-Hulk fan. Definitely. Speaking of which, everyone started already? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't no pressure to get it finished tonight. We can show it on next week's show, or we can show a work in progress and the finished piece next week. So don't stress. Glad you made it.
It's good to...
I was just about to talk to Brad Pickersgill. Brad, what are you up to at the moment?
Not a lot. This is actually the first time I've pulled out the pens in about 2 or 3 months.
Of course. You're telling us before the show.
Just, life and work has been nuts. And, you get really stressed, and people say, "Oh, that's when you should be drawing," but it's it's not quite. There's a difference between being stressed and when you're also exhausted. So it's kind of it's been a bit tough. So I did have my ultimate goal was to try and get out in November for the ComX Noir book. I'm working on a project called The Miner.
Yes, yeah.
Which it's spelled MINER.
Yeah,
not the Prince Andrew version. Too soon. Sorry. But I have to admit, I'm it's that may get put off, but I am going to be at Supernova with Rob O'Connor in November in Brisbane.
Cool.
Finally sort of popping my cherry and getting a table. So looking forward to that. That's my immediate sort of focus. And then after that, we'll see what happens. So but otherwise, been a little bit AWOL, but looking forward to getting back into it again. And I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, no, you're always welcome. Well, I guess the kind of good news then is that so ComX has got a book coming out, Sizzle and Doug, which kind of pushed some of the present stuff back a little bit. So you might have a little bit more time up your sleeve.
Yeah, you've got more time.
To get
excellent. I'm going to need it.
All right. Well, I think it's about that time we talk to the man of the mutton chops.
Press it
with a little segment.
Now it's that part of the show where we shine a big shiny spotlight on one of our creator friends. This week, we welcome
Name
and talk about their creative journey. Please, everybody, make some noise for
Name.
Yes, of course. This week's guest is none other than Brad Daniels. And now we will actually talk to the man about the man. None of this She-Hulk business. Let's talk about Brad Hulk. Brad, where does your creative spark come from?
That's a great question. So let me think about an answer there.
All right, get back to me.
Like most things I do in my life, it's to prove people wrong who told me I couldn't draw when I was 13 years old. So I'm highly motivated to prove the people in my church youth group that I can do comics.
Do you guys still meet up, or?
No, I have no idea where they are.
Okay.
It was a formative thing. I think, I always wanted to do comic books from when I was a kid, but I really lacked the ability. I had the desire, but the other thing about me is that I have no discipline. So I would never put in the required work to do something that would be good. I would do something as quick and as nasty as I could. So there came a time in my mid-20s when I was living in a share house with some artists who were amazing, really good artists. These are people who contributed to the Groovy Gravy experience back in the day. So Brett Williams, Michael Wright, James Stanley, Matt Gaffney. Matt's not a great artist, but he's a very funny guy. And
R.I.P. to Matt.
I was living in this share house with all these like amazing artists, and one of my best friends at the time was owned a printing company. And I was like sitting there, and it was like a little ticking over in my head, like, wait a second, printing, art, put together, comic book, make, do myself. And that's what happened. I started doing a comic called Groovy Gravy in 1994. It ran for 21 issues, I believe, probably 23, including bonus issues and stuff like that. For a lot of that, I was doing my usual thing of not putting in a lot of work and stuff like that. So Groovy Gravy did not have good reviews when it first came out. But it got better as we went along. I had the pleasure of working with a lot of really good artists. Some of whom I can't remember because I have a terrible memory, and it was 30, how many years? 28 years ago. But yeah, I had my own little niche, a little underground comic empire that Groovy Gravy was. And that's where it all started. Then at one stage, I took an 8-year break where I did nothing. I always wanted to so true. I took an 8-year break where I did nothing, and I got back into it. And eventually, I said, "Well, if I really want to, I think about when COVID first started being a thing. If I want to make a go of this, I really have to put in the effort." So I got the government NICE scheme, the new incentive
enterprise incentive scheme.
That's new enterprise incentive scheme. See, I told you I had a bad memory. And I did the course, and I said, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll sell comics at markets and stuff like that because people don't do that. There could be an untapped market there, and I'll use the takings from selling secondhand comics and my own comics to support myself in my artistic practice, and that's how it worked out. So I've been working away for the past couple of years doing that, and very recently, I just finished my first comic that I've written and drawn since I started in it. That's one of the ones. That's the Apple Spice. It's a preview comic. But the one I actually finished, which no one has a copy of, Rob, yet, is Infinite Odyssey, my science fiction one. This is the one that Rob is displaying there is, in fact, the all ages anime-inspired fantasy adventure, which we'll be doing a Kickstarter for in October.
Oh,
cool. Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff in there. Good all ages stuff, and that's the first story I did. I've improved since then, at the very least, and getting better all the time. So at the moment, what I really want to do is say, hey, I have a Kickstarter running right now for a sci-fi comic called Infinite Odyssey. It finishes on Sunday night. And I could show you pictures from that.
Please. We could even maybe. Yeah, let's see. What was it called? Infinite something else?
Infinite. Well, you can do a search for comics, and it should get you there. But yeah, I've been working on stuff recently, and it's all coming to fruition all at once, which is why I'm like stressed out of my mind, but I'm doing good.
I can't find it quick enough. Because then I just realized I'm not on the screen and I'm not talking, and if I don't talk, then the wheels might fall off. We dare not let that happen. Brad, tell us. Well, look, you only need to talk to Brad for about 10 seconds to realize he's hilarious.
Shucks.
Now, Brad, this idea is genius, and your humor is all over it. Tell us about this idea, how you came to it, how no one thought of it before you. And
well, here's the thing. I take old comic books. This is Tales Too Stupid to Tell, where I take old comic books and I just change all the words, like dubbing over an old film. So you have the cool old artwork. Instead of the original dialogue, there's lots of dumb jokes. Now, how did I come up with it? I didn't. I stole it off of a friend.
Nice.
I'm totally honest about that. There's a fantastic like independent cartoonist, and I haven't heard from him in years. I don't know what happened to him. His name was Damien Wood.
Well, you stole his idea, and so he blocked you on everything. And
maybe maybe he's a truther or something like that. I don't know, but no, he was a really talented guy, a really funny guy too, and he got one of those old Christian comics and did the same thing to it, where he took it and changed this like this comic. I think it was about a Watergate participant who found God, and just changed it to be all about hard drugs and like getting stoned off your face by changing the word. I thought that is hilarious. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah.
But it has also been done by Keith Giffen, who is a mainstream comic guy. He had a comic called What Were They Thinking? It was called, and it's basically the same deal. But I tried to bring my own particular twist to the whole thing, and yeah, it's my most popular book, so I must be doing something right.
Yeah, tell us about your like how you go about it. Like, do you have to do you read the original story? Do you skip ahead to see where things are going?
Yeah, let's talk process. Okay, so it starts with there's a website called Comic Books Plus, which has public domain comic books on it. That's all it has. So that's the first step. Is like I know that I shouldn't be getting into any legal trouble for using someone else's work, because these have all fallen into the public domain due to the like small publishers from the 50s which went out of business ages ago. And I go there, and they have like I think tens of thousands of comics on their site, and I just flip through and I look for covers that look interesting. That's the first thing. So first I have to just choose which genre I want. So do I want a sci-fi or a horror or a western? I like to mix it up, because there's such a great comics out there. So I figure out, what genre I'm going for. Then I look for a cover which says, what the hell is going on in this book?
Yeah.
Then I have to look. I flip through sometimes dozens of issues of comics looking for something that has... I try never to read what the comics are about before I start.
Awesome.
Then it's like I am imprisoned by what has already happened, rather than a lot of the humor that in Tales Too Stupid to Tell is just from commenting on what's on the page.
Yep.
There's like people put in artistic flourishes, or if there's a printing error, or someone's just got their anatomy all fucked up. That's where the gold is. That's where the good juice, gold juice. Blah 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 blah. Give it to me. Yum 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 yum. And then I go. So I then get if I can find a story that has interesting visuals, is at the length I'm looking for, usually about 7 pages. I download it, blank out all the word bubbles using my iPad, and then just go through looking at each panel and saying what's happening in this panel, and I describe what's happening in the panel, and that's where the humor comes in.
Nice.
That's the process.
Now, you're the friend that you stole the idea from. Do you think he harbors any ill will?
I'm sure. I don't.
This is a loaded question.
Okay. There.
On the other line.
When I was a kid, now this is highly blasphemic as well, because I grew up in a very Catholic household. But me and my friend Dan May, we had our Bibles were full of little pictures, and we would put speech bubbles on all of them, doing all kinds of horrible stuff. And it was one of the greatest joys of my school life. And when I saw you doing this, I thought, oh, how did I not think to do that? And now that you're so open about stealing the idea, I'm sort of like, would Brad hate me if I did one? I don't know. So,
Look,
just something to think about.
I don't own the idea. I mean, if I start this new, if Hollywood somehow makes $1 billion movie about this, that them's the breaks.
Yeah.
It's not my idea. I didn't come up with it, and even if I was, I'm just taking other people's work and making fun of it. It's not like I'm doing any high art concept stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, yum yum yum.
Quick, I must say, your Brad is very, very cool.
Brad's a fun one to draw.
Yeah,
not a real push for a cartoonist.
I think you should consider making him a character in one of your books because. Well, thank you so much, Brad. Absolute pleasure to talk to you and hear about your journey and whatnot.
Now, I'm going to send you a link for my Kickstarter, which ends on.
Put it I've already got it. Sorry,
you got it. Oh, thanks, Sis.
Sis, do you want to share screen
somewhere?
We can share screen and have a quick look at it.
Yeah, sure. Hang on.
But we'll talk while you're doing it, so it's not boring.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's barely mentioned, but I've really enjoying the She-Hulk show. I watched the latest episode yesterday. It's really found its feet. I really enjoy it. Super cool.
Yeah. I like it too. It's just fun.
Yeah.
There we go.
Talk us through it, Brad.
Well, this is okay. So I said I'm going to do a comic, but I want to do it. I don't want to be. How do I put this? I want to do it for myself. I don't want to try to be chasing an audience. So this is the most self-indulgent comic you will ever find.
Okay.
It's basically a sequel. I'm going to give away my entire... So I hope there's no lawyers listening because it's a sequel to a Marvel comic.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That will never be reprinted. It is, in many ways, is a spiritual sequel. It's not a direct sequel. There are no carryover characters or anything like that. But there was a time in the early 70s where Jack Kirby was doing a 2001 A Space Odyssey comic book, which was insane. It was just the man had such a boundless imagination, and at this stage he was probably in his 70s, and he was just like, he'd put stuff on the page, and you're like, what's going on in this guy's brain? He's either mad or a genius or both. So this is like a spiritual successor to that. It follows the story of a Jodie, a young Pictish girl who is dealing with the problems of having Roman, basically invaders, let's say colonizers, driving out. And then we jump to the far future where we meet her descendant Mary, who is on a suicide mission in a world which is basically proxy wars are fought on. It's all written and illustrated by myself.
Cool.
And I'm happy with about 50% of the artwork, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pass.
Yeah, and yeah, as I mentioned, I have the Kickstarter. You're seeing all the different tiers there at the moment, and it'll be finishing on Sunday night. So please support me. I've had a great amount of support. I've easily made the initial target for production of the book, so it's definitely going to be printed.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I'd just like to get some people I don't know to support me.
Yeah.
Well, you've got 50 hours left, people. 50 hours left.
Yeah, Sis has put the link in almost all the chats, I believe. So if you look below this video, you will find a clickable link. Oh, I've got I think this is Sean. It's already backed it.
Sean.
Sean already has. Sean, you rock. Do you want to run through the video there? It's only 40 seconds.
Sure. Just let me turn this music off. Yeah, you hit it, Sis.
I don't know if I turn the sound on. Hang on. Can you hear it?
No.
Yeah, I can hear it. Infinite Odyssey. Imagine.
Wow, really is an awkward song at the end there.
Nice.
Cool.
Don't miss out.
Yay!
In there, peeps.
That's awesome. Thanks, Brad.
No problem. Thank you. And let me know about my book.
So now I believe it is time to take a look at some She-Hulks that have come through.
Ooh. Okay, I'll send through what I've done.
Right, I'm just downloading a new one. Hang on.
All right, sweet. Well, I can start if you like, Sis.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
We've got one here from Rob O'Connor.
Hey,
that's awesome.
Great from the show. That was awesome. Can everybody see it?
That's cool.
It's classic Rob O'Connor on the brown paper.
Yeah.
Rob, you got to hook me up with some of that stuff, buddy.
That's awesome. Awesome pencils. Great work. And then speaking of Sean Craig, we have one here. We had to Sizzle sent it through to me and said, "What do you think? Do we need to censor it?"
Sorry, Craig. Sorry, Sean. I mean, we don't want to be kicked off YouTube, so we have to censor it.
We had to tell Quick Nick this when he first joined the show that we have a no nipple policy. It was a big deal. Quick was really full on about wanting to do the show shirtless, but so thank you, Sean. And then following up from Sean, we have a piece from Ryan Vella.
Oh, look at that!
Nice.
That's awesome.
Those nasty lines. It's really cool.
Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. That's the old school white dress that Brad was talking about. Sis, do you want to take over, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, sure. Our next one is Peter Wilson.
Yeah. That's my guy. Awesome work, Pete.
Nice one. Bloody awesome. And even though Dave Dye's not here tonight, he still sent one in before the show.
Oh, Dave. Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dave pulled it off.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of people who couldn't make it tonight, Nick May.
Pink
controversy.
Awesome. It's funny how many people have gone the white dress. The old school She-Hulk. It's awesome. That's awesome, Nick. Thanks so much. Happy birthday to Nick May. That's why he's not with us tonight.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's his birthday yesterday, I believe. So I think he's out.
Oh, okay.
Out on the town.
Still partying.
Yeah, going to
What an animal.
Places of debauchery and whatnot. Finally losing his virginity, I believe. He's only got 3 kids, but whatever. Joke language. Who's next, Sis? I see what's on the list.
Oh, yeah. Who's next? Well, this one's put in here to make everyone else look awesome. Sizzle!
Yeah. Great work, Sis.
Thanks, Chris.
Nice.
Could have got the green texture out, Sizzle. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I could have, but I haven't got one. I've got a highlighter, I guess. I probably could have got that out. And to follow up on that and make him look even more awesome, we've got Spedsy.
Hey.
Nice. Dynamic.
That guy does all right.
I like the muscle shines. You get muscle shine, mate.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's like, that's a wrestling thing. Put some baby oil on before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Makes the
Lather
muscles
up.
look better under the lights. Well, that's what I do anyway.
Okay, next is Michelle. Michelle and Dan have gone out, but Michelle was able to whip one up before she went out.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nice.
Now that's
Dan,
on.
unfortunately, did not have time, so just Michelle tonight.
Yeah, nice work, Michelle. I think that's on a coaster of some sort, right?
Yeah, it is. It looks like it is. Just a
Yeah.
square one instead of a normal circle one.
That's awesome. Look at the veins
we've got
running
some
down her
comments
arm.
coming in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Thanks, Bethany. Thanks, Rusty.
Right.
I'll keep the good times rolling while Sizzle
thanks.
comments. Neil Blandon, one of my favorite.
I think I missed the
Wow.
I was lucky enough to pick up 2 of Neil's zine comics last weekend. Freaking awesome stuff.
Yeah, Neil's a genius. I'll say it.
You won't get many arguments here, mate.
Mr. Lawson looks like he's ready to share.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Pete. Sorry, Sis, I got it. No, I don't.
No.
That's really cool.
Looking
Yeah,
good, bro.
nice work.
Yeah, at peace. It's nice.
Peter, sorry.
I have forgotten how to draw legs, though.
You saw mine, right? If anyone's forgotten, it would be me.
Did you get
No, I
my?
can't get the white leg quite the same below. And the hand.
We got yours, Brad.
And the hair.
Awesome. And we've got Davo77.
Davo.
Nice.
Now, Fizz, I think that's a highlighter that he's used.
Yeah, I know.
Could be. Maybe.
Could be.
Love it.
You're awesome, Neil.
I know.
Davo, you're smashing it, mate. Davo has a really cool TikTok. I wish I can probably look it up real quick, but yeah, Davo does a lot of his drawings live on TikTok, and it's very cool to watch.
Nice.
While you're looking for that, we'll go to Hugh
I look at it,
McGowan.
and of course, one of the other people I follow is Ichigo Boom. It's always.
Can't
Here we
see
go.
that?
Hugh McGowan, nice.
The simple 2 colors there. That's fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks, Hugh. That's great.
Then we've got Chris Pitkin.
Holy moly.
Very good.
Oh wow.
But
Oh man.
Has she got some now I can't remember her name. Jennifer Connelly about her? Yeah? Awesome.
Oh, really?
I found the page. I found the comic. I found it.
Sweet.
Yeah, and it is. Look, they're right there. Triathlon and She-Hulk. I knew I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
There we go. Found it. My floor is a mess, but I found it.
So Davo on TikTok is Davo_77. I should have known. He's pretty much Davo77 everywhere. So yeah, go check him out on TikTok. And while you're there, Ichigo Boom is the new Sloppy Tunes, new Alex Major TikTok. And Shaden Art is on there as well. Shaden Art or Shaden Jew Art. She does good stuff.
I think I ask every time. Where do we send it to? The email, is that somewhere?
You can send it.
Oh yeah,
to...
you should have it on the bottom of the screen. I've been really slack tonight.
I'm gonna call you Sluck Daniels. I don't know why. It just sounded like Brad Daniels.
Sorry, there's the email there, Chris.
Legend, thanks.
Everyone who's watching, I apologize if you were trying to send in your art.
And then speaking of Brad Daniels, we've got Brad's She-Hulk right here. Great work, Brad. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Up there, but I like everything. I'll claim it as my own.
That's awesome.
Hey, Sizzle, check this out. Check this. Whoa, where's my screen? What's going on?
I think people lose their account for that, so I just thought I'd better.
Now, there's a few people we haven't heard from. Brad, we still need to see a little something. Shannon, as well.
No, yeah.
You're working digital, Shan, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Brenton? Are you digital or traditional?
Just.
Sorry. Do you want to show us a little work in progress? Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It gets in late. Still kills it.
So
business.
Yeah, I've always had a thought that like if I ever did, I don't know if I was ever lucky enough, or any of us, to do the Hulk, like I'd make him more primate looking. Like he always seems to be this like mesomorphic sort of like human still, you know. Whereas I thought, nah, he's gonna be like some big super overweight primate or some sort. And, so I had the kind of same idea with She-Hulk. Maybe she, I mean, she always looks really gorgeous, you know, really pretty, which is awesome, you know. But I just thought, what if she was like some like messed up sort of ogre, you know, like if she, like I'd chuck horns and everything, fangs, whatever. I don't know. I guess that's when it starts exiting She-Hulk, but that's kind of my idea of like, abomination, I guess. Yeah. So
very cool. Yeah, a couple of years ago, they relaunched her title, and she was way more of a Hulk. Still not a primate, as you say, but she was huge and like huge veins and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Can we take a minute too to appreciate your bookshelf there? I'm just a big book. I love bookshelves. I don't know why.
Yeah, sure. It's got to be all the comic books, Viking martial arts.
Right.
Sniper Trade, SAS Survival. It's just all the stuff that I've kind of used for book running. My graphic novel. I'm also a personal trainer, so I've got all my PT on that half. All the comic stuff on this half. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No, awesome.
It's a stolen bookshelf, so it was left at the front of someone's house, and no one came to pick it up. So we got back, and then we found out on the Broom notice board that has anyone seen this, you know, bookshelf? Because it actually belongs to us. We've paid for it, and I feel horribly guilty, but my family said it's all right. Broom people, we get it. So.
Okay,
we won't sign it.
Yeah, well, fortunately, your name's not on the screen or anything. Oh, gee.
It's been a long con to get you to admit to that, Brendan.
Yeah. Finally, I find who stole my bookcase. So, Shannon, are we... sorry to pick on you.
That's all right. I'm about to send what I've got. I was trying to share my screen, but it wasn't working.
We're back. I'll pick on you, Brad.
Which one? Brad Pickersgill?
Oh, Brad Pickersgill, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll hold it up.
I just like that you...
I'm going to do it old school and hold it up when...
yeah, please.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly...
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
That's great.
Nice work, Brad.
Nice.
Oh, while we're talking bookshelves, Brad, what sort of toys are we talking about there behind you?
Transformers. Yeah, all my dollies, as I call them. So, but that's it's a work in progress.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
love it.
Stolen as well, huh?
Oh my God! You'll keep, you bastards.
We had another picture come in while we were chatting from Bethany McCall.
Oh, Bethany. Wow.
Oh, nice colours.
Probably because I put up the email finally.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Bethany. That's awesome. And if it's a work in progress, send it through throughout the week or whatever, and we'll show it on next week's show too.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's just ahead, and that's cool too. All right. Well, maybe
We've got one
while-
more that's been
Yep.
emailed to me twice now, and I forgot about it. Hang on. It's a. I don't think he drew it himself though, so I think this is cheating. We've got Danny Nolan.
Yeah. I don't think that was drawn, but
I don't think that was Danny.
someone left the toilet seat up, so she's. For a second there, I thought that we were lampooning the devil's toilet, and I didn't know whether to take offense or not. But I get it now. Someone left the toilet seat up. Thanks, Danny.
Sis, just check. I've sent mine through.
Yeah, I just got it.
You need to
Now,
send
they've
two
done
emails.
as well,
Yeah.
Sis. So let me know if you got it. Otherwise, I'll resend.
In the meantime, maybe I will show y'all a little something we received from our dear friend Alex Major. We can have a look and see who She-Hulk, what Australian character the She-Hulk is hanging out with today.
Oh, yeah. Nice one, Alex.
Alex, that's
That's
freaking great. That's awesome.
Just can't look away.
Somebody please tag Darren Close. He needs to see a twerking killaroo. That's awesome. Thanks, Alex. We miss you, mate.
You usually don't drink it, so I didn't make it. You want it?
Okay, I got Shannon's, but I haven't got yours, Chris.
Oh, no worries. I'll send it again quickly.
That's a shelf.
You know what? Even after you explained it, the joke still landed. I wasn't sure what it was. That's awesome.
Here's Shannon's.
Shannon. Nice.
It's fun.
Yeah, I didn't finish.
That's
my
cool.
Yeah, she like burst through the wall. Nice work.
Oh, shit, I
I
missed
like the way you
this
done the
one.
hair.
Looking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
Thank
great.
you, guys.
Alex will be back next week. Good.
We'll take you.
Well, that's debatable, Mr. Sloppy. Your opinion is subjective and not necessarily that of ComX. Quick 10-minute job for Bethany. She's going to finish it up. Nice work. Brenton, they're coming after you.
It's mine now. It's mine.
Very quick. I'll get that picture up there. We go.
Got you, Brad.
Okay.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll start the self-promo rounds and we'll pop Chris Wood's art up as we go. What do you reckon, Sis?
Yep.
Then let's do it.
Now it's that part of the show.
No, it's not. It's not that part of the show.
Not
This
it.
part.
This poor person is looking through the newspaper for info on what projects our artists have been working on. And this lost individual is using a map to find where she can follow our artists on social media and buy their books. How about we save them the trouble and just tell them? We call this next segment Shameless Self-Promotion.
Do we?
I guess I'm first. Sorry, wasn't prepared. I was doing something else.
Sorry, I decided I might try and upload something, and then I was like, no one's talking. What happened?
Okay, so I'll go first. Usual thing. We've got the ComX shop. I'll put up the banner. I'll take off the other banner so you can read it. And Go back to that banner. Okay, so ComX shop, ComX.shop, Australian indie goodness with one flat postage rate, which at the moment is $9. Buy one comic, buy 20 comics is all the same postage rate. They're all Australian indie. They're all awesome. The other thing I wanted to mention is Oz Comic Con is on tomorrow in Brisbane. So look for this guy. He was wandering around.
There he is.
His beard's a little bit more trim than that photo. But yeah, so have a look for him. He'll be wearing that shirt. Wearing a different shirt on Sunday though, so I didn't have a photo of the other shirt. Saturday, that's the shirt I'm wearing. Look for a guy in a purple shirt on the next day.
Kerry, if you're watching, if you could just bring the shirt into frame, because I mean the world needs to know what shirt we'll be wearing on the following day.
Purple one.
Purple one. Well, so my books, I do a book called Sluggish, another one called The Devil's Toilet, and another one called Vamoose. They're all available at psychojanitor.com and the ComX shop and reverypublications.com.au, where you will find a bunch of other stuff I do where I've written issues of Torn, issues of Rick McClune. But this thing that I've been working on lately, this little thing, it's a webcomic. It's written by a man named Tony Huddy, a hell of a writer, and it's called The Hero Complex. It's fake superheroes and real conspiracies. It's full of the swears, full of the jokes. It's a bantery good time. It's free. Go give it a look. The Hero Complex on Webtoon. You can grab the link at the front page of psychojanitor.com. Quick.
Just a quick one from me tonight. You can follow me on Instagram at detectivebudgie.com. And just a personal promise, I'm going to try and start posting more often. All right? You heard it from me. And while I have your attention, I'm just going to bring up my little picture here, the old Braddock.
Oh,
Chris
off.
You get all the action here. Thank you, Chris. Talk to us.
Cool. And we'll go back to me for Sunday. We've got the shirt. Let me bring it up. There we go. That shirt on Sunday.
Thanks, Mary. I just need to check, Sis. The earlier photo, were you wearing a hat?
Oh.
Yes. It's at the top.
Will you be wearing the same hat both days?
The one that I've got on right now. Same hat.
Don't panic, people.
Just
It's the
be
same
clear.
hat. All right.
Yeah, same hat.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so for those who go to the convention, please send us photos to hold Sizzle accountable. I want to make sure he did wear those shirts. And I'm curious what kind of pants he's wearing. So let us know. Comments below. Chris, tell us where we can find your books.
Good question. Well, the best place to see me is actually on Instagram at the moment. I had to look up my Instagram profile name because I don't remember it. It's Chris Wood Inc. 75% has my own name, so that's a bit of a worry. But yeah, that's where I post things, and when I do sort of update what I'm doing, that's where it'll be. So yeah, thanks for having me on as well. It's been really fun.
Oh, man, anytime. Mr. Pickersgill, the only Brad in the room currently.
Oh, I'm under pressure.
There can
Yeah,
be only one.
I'm rebuilding my socials after getting hacked by the Russians back in February. So I'm no longer BP Art Brisbane. I'm now BP Arts Brisbane. So there is more of me, but there is, because I haven't uploaded everything yet. But yeah, on the face, BP Arts Brisbane. On the gram, BP Arts Brisbane. And thanks everyone. It's been great to be back and really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, I've got here in my notes, the next guy is just a bit of a tornado. Where can we find you?
You can find me at justabitofatornado.com. No, not really. I'm on Instagram at crispy.inks. I'm on Twitter at crispydraws. I mostly work with either Signet Studio, who I'm working with at the moment, doing Wolf Cubs issue 2, or with NSK and ComX, with whom I do Fox and Hound. So also go check them out, because that's where you'll find all my work.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Mr. Son of Law.
Yes.
Where can we find your material?
My stuff's the comics I've done, which is mainly torn, are available through Reverie Productions, and I'll update my Facebook stuff and give it a name that people can understand, and I'll get a bit more active on that in the future.
Yeah, isn't it called the proliferation of Peter?
Yeah, it's a medical term, so I'll change it.
We need it like crispy inks, crispy, like that. You know how snappy that is, and then you've got yours is like 45 words long.
Yeah, I'll make it short and easy to say and spell, and then I'll plug it more.
Yeah. The man who does have a what yours is Shan Attack. What is it? It's something short and snappy.
Shan Studios.
Shan Studios.
So, yes, I'm on Instagram under Shan Studios, SHANN Studios. My comics aren't really available anywhere at the moment. They were on Comixology, but they went to hell, and I haven't really figured out a new venue yet. I'm going to try and get them printed at some point, but moving soon, life in general, so on and so forth. But I do have, I'm still doing animated film reviews on YouTube under Gung Ho Movie Maker.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been doing them all year, and I like them.
Yeah. And the man with wet hairy holes, Brenton, where can we find your wares, your books, your social medias, etc.?
Yeah, social media. Ezra. Ezra ESZRA. I am Ezra. Instagram. Fuds McKenna. Facebook. Same with the Twitter. It's I am Ezra. Books. Mugabella Books, my local publisher. I haven't actually been out enough to see where my books. I've seen it at like Dimmicks and Boffins. I guess that's hopefully they stock it there. Hairy Holes hopefully comes out, if all goes to plan, March next year, and then later in the year we'll have Tales of Terror, which is sort of like local ghost stories that I've that's been sort of circulating around Broome since I was a kid, and we've kind of turned them into a comic. Half of them are comics, half of them will be illustrated stories. So it kind of comes out later in the year. I think the first, just to get Hairy Holes out first will be, get me on track. Yeah.
You need to come back on the show and come on as the guest so that we can find out more about all this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah,
I
I'd love to.
Want to hear more about your journey, your story, etc.
Awesome.
A man who reportedly was known to say, "This is a hot on my face." One of my favorite of three of the quotes from tonight's show. The man who was at 312 comic conventions in the last year, I think.
Probably more.
Yeah. Brad, where can we find you besides every weekend somewhere in the country slinging books?
Well, this weekend I'm at Oz Comic Con Brisbane. Next weekend I'm at Oz Comic Con Sydney. You can find me at on Facebook at Edge Comics. That's Comics with an X. This is. I'm doing the thing.
Yeah. I stole it off you. I took the eye out.
I said, well, there's no I in comics, as you say.
Yes.
So Edge Comics on Facebook, Edge Comics on Instagram, edgecomics.com, and go to any convention that's within about 2,000 miles of where I live, and I'll probably be there.
Yeah, you said that's where you can be found, and which is funny because your loved ones have been unable to find you for the last couple of years because you're living out of a suitcase.
I don't love them.
Well, you heard it here.
Love me, but I don't love them. I'm trying to get away.
Right.
As far away as possible.
Well, I just wanted to say to Brad's family and loved ones, we love you. Please remember to like. Brad may not like you, but you could like this video. You could also subscribe, if you will. It all helps the algorithm, something science, YouTube, and then press the little ding-a-ling to get notified. Thanks, Bethany.
I told you.
I want to know more about what that is.
You've been told.
I harmed you, or something. All right. Well, that's been our show, right, Sis?
Yeah, it has been. I'll be censored tomorrow. Yeah, my nipples will be covered.
Yes, Mom.
Jeez, the pandemic's been rough on everyone, hasn't it?
I just want to mute everybody except for whoever that's coming from and find out what's going on. It's just like one of us farted and no one's admitting to who it is. One of us is a Skrull. Who can we trust? Anyway, next week on the show, we don't know. The guest is pulled out, so we are guestless.
We're guestless.
We will announce that as the week rolls on. But until then, thank you for joining us, everybody here in the room and everybody at home. Where does the dead fish come from?
The ocean.
Or a lake.
You had a dead fish in the last picture too.
Right.
It's a mermaid thing, maybe?
Mermaid fish thing.
Okay. He's got a fish thing. All right. Mr. Black has a fish thing, and he's a bit of a tornado. He's got
Oh my God. I haven't heard that in a while.
Generated from Chris. All right. Well, that's our show. Thank you so much. Thank you to Sizzle and ComX for putting us on. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you for everyone for watching. We're here every week. Remember to say your vitamins and eat your prayers, and we'll catch you down the flippity flop. Thank you so much.
Stick around, Brenton.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, all.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
all, guys. Please stay safe.
Someone should call the police. The show has been murdered. But in 1 week we will rebuild it. Better, stronger, faster. In the meantime, head to comx.shop and powder your chestnuts on a copy of Detective Budgie by Nick Cleary, Amazing Tales by Dave Dye, Vamoose by Nick May, Battle for Bustle by Lee Chalker, Radical by Ed Kearsley, Sluggish by Spedsy, Crimson and Rascal by Peter Wilson, ComX Presents featuring so many of the creators that have appeared on this show. And so much more. Alright Sizz, press the button. End the show. Don't make me butter your biscuit. Sizzle, press the button. Sizzle? Sausage sizzle.